In this video, we're going to log into WordPress and start running through the dashboard. Depending on what version of WordPress you are using, there may be minor changes here or there, but I'm going to try to keep these videos as up to date as possible. Right now, this video is recorded using WordPress version 3.8. So to log into your WordPress website, you need to first access the admin login page. This will always be your domain name /wp-admin. So my example, it will be expresswebsitecourse.com/wp-admin. If you're having trouble accessing this, check your email that contained your login information and a login link for WordPress. This is the email you should have received after installing WordPress. So now it's asking me for my username and my password. So this was the username you chose when you installed WordPress in the previous video, and the password was provided to you after we installed it. If you haven't already, please write that username and password down somewhere because you'll be using it often. So I'm going to enter in my username and password and go ahead and click on Login. So this is what your dashboard should look like after you log in. Again, depending on what version of WordPress you are using, this may look slightly different. Again, we're using WordPress 3.8 and we're running on the 2013 theme. And you'll always be able to tell what version of WordPress you're running by looking right here. This left navigation area is the bulk of the different sections that control your website. I'm going to run through each of these with you right now to give you a general idea of what all this means, and we'll dive deeper into each one individually in the next videos. If the terminology is confusing or you don't understand what I'm talking about right now, don't worry about it, you soon will. So the first thing in the dashboard is the home button. So this is this page right here. If you select this, it will bring you back to this first page after you log in. This page gives you an overview of what's going on your website. It first starts out with at a glance. This will tell you the number of pages, posts, it tells you what version you're running, and also goes into what theme you're running. It'll also give you an overview of activities such as comments that have been made, and under Quick Draft is an area where you can create a quick post or page. And underneath that, WordPress News is giving you information about what's going on in the world of WordPress. So let's scroll back to the top left navigation, where it says Updates. This is the area that will notify you of things such as if your themes or plugins need updates. Themes and plugins regularly have new versions coming out that fix bugs or create new functionality or new design, new templates. So keep a lookout to make sure that you're always running the most up-to-date version. Next is your posts and your pages. Like I mentioned earlier, these are the core parts of the content for your website. This media section manages all the media involved in your website, such as pictures or videos. The comment section is where you manage all things related to users commenting about your website, if you choose to allow them to comment. This is where you can also moderate those comments. Appearance tab is where you manage things related to the look of your website. The Plugins tab is where you can add new plugins and activate or deactivate existing plugins. Plugins are essentially nuggets of code that allow you to do a particular function, such as a contact form or maybe connecting to your Facebook page. Users is where you can add, delete, or manage the users of your website. So this can apply to the roles users have as well, such as if they are an administrator or if they are a subscriber. Tools allow you to do things such as import or export existing content from somewhere else, such as transferring the pages and posts from one WordPress website to another WordPress website. Lastly, settings is where you manage the settings for different aspects of your site. General applies to the basic settings of your website. Writing applies to your content. Reading applies to how your content is consumed. Discussion applies to how users interact with your content. Media applies to default settings and sizes of your media. And permalinks applies to the structures of your URL addresses of your content. Okay, so this wraps up a general overview of the different elements of the WordPress dashboard. In the next videos, we'll dive into each of these topics individually. I'll talk to you then.